A combination of understanding and strong revenue collection has allowed Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan to deliver a solid fiscal platform that is likely to satisfy the markets and credit rating agencies, inspire domestic confidence, and ensure sustainable stability. The medium-term budget policy statement, tabled in Parliament on Wednesday, provides for a defensive policy stance of fiscal consolidation in which the budget deficit is lowered.
This administration came into office as the 1 in 70-year Great Recession came to the shores of South Africa. In the past 4.5 years have been a period in which we've demonstrated a great deal of correct political leadership. Real government spending some years ago was as high as 12%, and that over a period of time we've curtailed real government spending. But nonetheless, we've managed the fiscus in a way in which we've ensured that we, even in the current period, sustain real growth of 2.2%. The fiscal path that the MTBPS puts before you for the medium-term period is one which, once again, will try to retain that balance between supporting growth and job creation on the one hand, and continuing with our project of fiscal consolidation over the medium term. We recognize that the deficit will certainly improve as we move into the next 3 years. So if you look at, if you like, the key points of the statement, they would be that we are pursuing a fiscal path that balances, as I said, the requirements of countercyclicality and the commitment to medium-term consolidation, that we are keeping government's debt within sustainable limits, we are maximizing the resources and demonstrating our intent as government to implement the National Development Plan. We're directing public spending towards areas that would really ignite inclusive growth and complement increased private sector investment that we foresee, supporting job creation and skills training, particularly for unemployed youth, and you'll see that speeding up quite substantially as our institutional capacity grows in the next year. Manage the risk, as I pointed out, emerging from the current and potential global economic environment, cut costs and waste within government.
The Cabinet has decided on a raft of measures to cut down on wasteful government expenditure by ministers, deputy ministers, premiers, MECs, mayors and officials on cars, air travel and accommodation. The measures are expected to take effect from December 1st.
Firstly, in respect of cars, the cost of cars will be standardized, bulk purchasing of cars will reduce costs. Security features will be taken into account. But importantly, there's some provision in the current rules which allow for compensation for the use of personal cars if you use it for political or other purposes. So there will be no compensation for the personal use of cars from this point, from the 1st of December onwards. Secondly, in respect of overseas delegations, ministers and all of the people I've mentioned may travel business class only, not first class. Assistance to ministers will be limited to 2. The number of officials who accompany ministers will be kept to a minimum. Ministers awaiting allocation of houses will be accommodated in rented apartments for whatever it is, 1 month or 2 months, while they're waiting for formal government housing and not in hotels. New refurbishment guidelines will be developed by the Department of Public Works for limiting costs, and those guidelines will be shared with you. No credit cards are to be issued, and existing ones are to be cancelled immediately. Our approach to reducing costs and eliminating waste will focus on 6 areas in the rest of government as well. The largest is consultancy services, where we expect government agencies to make sure that there's better contract management, there's stricter control over consultancy fees. Each government entity is required to develop a consultants reduction plan by the 31st of March. The leader of government business will also discuss with Parliament the cost implications of our current 2 capital arrangement, Pretoria, Cape Town, and how we intend to address the cost issues.